Today I'm going to take you through a day in the life of me. I'm going to show you my typical day of eating, as well as a light training session. And I've also got a few people coming in and I'm going to take them through their paces on a strength technique session. So hopefully you enjoy. Before I do anything, I make my coffee. Just an espresso, just these pods, but they're good enough, they taste good. I have two of these, so it's a double. Lots of cream and lots of honey. I don't know how many calories that is, but it tastes good. And I'm going to be doing that while I have my oatmeal with my daughter. Bit of a free pour, that's probably about 2 tablespoons. I've got a sweet tooth. This is my morning meals. The first thing I have is a glass of water and I put salt in it. Good for hydration. That's your sodium. I also have potassium supplements as well. And I eat a lot of potassium with my spinach. We have fruit every day, have bananas, have kiwi fruit. But it's very important not to just have water by itself. The electrolytes is what hydrates you. So that's the first thing that I have. Followed by my coffee, which is double shot coffee with honey and cream. Probably got a lot of calories in it, but that's okay with me. I like my calories, I need my calories. I don't know exactly how many is in there, but I'll have them all. And I have oatmeal, so a cup of oatmeal, whatever that is, and about 30 grams of protein powder. This is with water and with honey. That's it. I've been eating this for as long as I can remember. I don't know, years definitely. And it's the first meal of my day. It's the easiest one to consume for me. I'm not hugely hungry as soon as I wake up, but I just need something in my stomach, something easy to eat, and that's this. Meal number 2, this is my healthy meal. Actually, the first one was healthy as well. I'm gonna have a lot of healthy meals today. Maybe I'll sneak in a few other bits and pieces that you'll see, but 5 boiled eggs with blueberries. It's a funny combination, but I've been eating eggs every day for probably more than 10 years. Am I sick of it? Yeah, I'll be lying if I said no. I am a little bit sick of it, but anyway, I like it. I like what it does for me. It's good protein source, and I'm still moving forward with my strength goals and muscle building goals. So something's working, obviously, and I do think that eggs are a good staple for anyone's diet. So 5 boiled eggs, blueberries to wash it down, and apple juice, because I like the taste of it. Bit of extra calories as well. Let's go. About to go squat. It's a deload day, so it's not very stressful. Okay, so we are on our way to base gym in Sydney. I'm gonna squat today, but it's gonna be a light session. I'm squatting 2 times a week at the moment. Light session, heavy session, light session, heavy session. So today's kind of a bit of deload, high bar squats. So I'm pretty chilled out. And then I'm going to be training some of the girls from Clean Health. They don't know what they're in for, but it's a funny thing when people come and train with me. They think that I'm going to smash them, I'm going to make them puke or do something that they're not able to do or something like that. And everyone gets kind of scared, but that's absolutely not what happens. It's kind of brain gains. That's the biggest muscle that we train. And you guys are going to see that. So it's going to be pretty cool. I've never really filmed any of my sessions with, I don't want to call them newbies because they're industry professionals, but like people that are experiencing a strength session for the first time with me. So it's going to be cool to see exactly how I approach a new client, even though they're not a client of mine, but we'll say that I'm going to treat them as if they were for the first time. So that's going to be a cool experience for the girls at Clean Health, and also for you guys, if you're personal trainers out there and you're watching to see how I approach clients. It's going to be a good one. We'll be at the gym in about 15 minutes.
You ready?
There, let's go. Hey.
Welcome, the general is here. What's up? How's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
Very, very good.
Hey Mon, how are ya? We have fist bumps for everyone. Jimmy, how are you, bro?
What's your plan for today,
I'm
Buzz?
gonna do some light squats.
Light squats.
Yeah, so it's not a stressful day. I'm gonna do some high bar stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna take me not that long, and then I'm gonna have a meal. And then I'm gonna train the clean health chicks. Hey guys, welcome to Base Gym. My name is Sebastian Oreb, the Australian strength coach, and this is our gym that I own with my wife and her sister. This is Felicia and Dinny J, and they are the Base Body Babes. And the name Base Gym didn't come from the word bass, it more came from the Base Body Babes actually. And the reason I'm saying that is because that was the question that was asked today. But yeah, it was. Yeah, everyone thinks that I'm naming the gym after myself, but I wasn't actually. So this is Base Gym, and we all own this business together. And today I'm going to do a video which is going to be a day in the life of me.
Actually, we already started like quite a few hours ago when he woke me up this morning saying,
exactly, so we had a few of my meals already. The day started long ago, and it's still going to go for the rest of the day. So today I'm going to do a training session for me, and it's just going to be a light squat session. And then I've got some girls, some special guests from Clean Health that are coming in, and I'm going to run them through a typical lower body session, probably just squats and deadlifts, and teach them the techniques the way that I like to teach them. So you guys are going to get a whole bunch of value out of that. And then I'm going to go about the rest of my day with all of my meals, including my desserts up until bedtime. So hope you guys enjoy the video.
welcome to our world.
Check this. This is my shoes for today. This is my accessory squat shoes. So this is where I want to develop my quadriceps. I'm strengthening weak points. So whenever I do a low bar squat, I use these. These are flat soled shoes, and I wrap my knees. Now, what a knee wrap does is it stops the knee from being able to bend. So it acts as very strong knee joint extensors. What are the knee joint extensors? That's quadriceps. So when I do my wrapped squats, I'm neglecting quadriceps. I do low bar wrapped. It's like hip dominant. And the wraps act as quads, so I don't use my quads that much. So then I develop a weak point. If all you do is wrap squats, you're going to develop a weak point in quads. So my favorite exercise, well, my favorite accessory or supplementary thing to do for my squat strength is any quad dominant variation. So today, my quad dominant variation is just going to be high bar. So I'm doing a high bar pause phase. So high bar pauses, elevated heels are going to allow me to get into that bottom position better and allow me to get my hamstring pressed against my calf. So that's the best tip if you want to build quads. Get full depth so the hamstring's pressed against the calf. But check this out. If I don't have the elevated heel, for me to get full depth, look at my lower back. Can you see it rounding? Mm-hmm. So I need heel elevation. Not everyone needs that. There's some really mobile people out there that can do an ass to grass squat, and they don't really need this. That's fine, but I do. And so that's what I'm doing. So this is helping me achieve that bottom position and maintain a neutral pelvis angle. So that's important. Don't go ass to grass squat because Bass said that builds quads better, and it's going to go and trash your back if your lower back is rounding under load. Don't do that. So butt wink kind of happens, but work towards not ever butt winking. That's what you want. So that's my focus of today, is to get full depth, beautiful posture, quadriceps focus. So what's a quad focus squat? We got high bar, we got front squat, and I'm gonna add a pause. We also do 1 1/4 stuff. So all the different variations. There's not one number one exercise for it. But right now, I'm also working towards another goal, which is Monday I do 290 pause, high bar. And then 2 weeks later, I do 300 pause. And then the week after that, I do 400, low bar. Oh, these are big numbers, let me tell ya. Let's get started. What are we gonna do before I squat? This is what I recommend for anyone, whenever they're performing anything that loads the spine, is to activate the core. Now, I didn't invent this. This is
It's called the Big Three by Professor Stuart McGill. And actually the person that introduced me to this is Andrew Locke. That's one of the best rehabilitation specialists in the game. I work very closely with him. And he's taught me this just as a great warm-up to activate the core. Lots of money has gone into research for this exact movement. It's the Big Three by Stuart McGill. It's core activation exercises. They say that after completing the Big Three, your core will be active for the following 1 to 3 hours after this, which is pretty much how long I'm going to be squatting for. So I start with core activation, then I do glute activation, and then I'm going to start warming up my squats. That's it.
Let's go.
Bird dogs, I do 10 of these. Now, here's my disclaimer to you. Don't do bird dogs and think that all of a sudden you're going to be strong. It's just a warm-up. It's just a warm-up.
Just to stimulate?
Stimulate, not annihilate.
That's the one.
But also, if, you know, for me, it's not going to make me stronger. Like, I'm pretty strong. And most people are strong enough for this to not really be a strengthening exercise. It's an activation exercise. But for people with back pain, instead of sitting at home and doing nothing and saying, you know, lifting weights hurts and I can't exercise, I can't walk, my back hurts. These are excellent exercises that you can do that are not aggressive enough to be harmful. And it puts blood and strengthens the right areas. But for now it's an activation. So there's different purposes for this. This is actually what Andrew Locke prescribes for all of his low back pain patients. He's a rehabilitation specialist. Okay, so that's 10 total, so that's 5 on each side. Next we do a rolling plank. So it starts with a front plank, so we do this for 30 seconds. Hands are separate, no sagging of the hips. The cue that I say is with your pelvis, piss up a wall.
It's a good one.
So that's posterior pelvic rotation. Is that 30 seconds? Yeah, just about.
Just about.
Now we go side plank, and this one is a bit harder than the front, so we do this for 15 seconds.
Is that where you normally would place your other hand, Bas? Just on your stomach?
Yeah, to be honest with you, some people do this. Makes
Yeah.
no difference, just where you're comfortable. As long as your spine's straight.
Some good tips.
Hey Benny, how do my glutes look?
Oh, nice and luscious.
Thanks, thanks.
Thick with the triple C.
Ah, that's triple C.
Triple C, yeah.
That's excellent, man. Okay, so there's the planks. That's the rolling plank. Next we do curl ups. So we go like this. 1 foot to the butt, 1 leg straight. If I have both legs straight, my pelvis rotates anteriorly. If I have both feet up to my butt, it rotates posteriorly. 1 straight, 1 up to your butt, neutral. So we go fingertips on the abs to feel the brace. Elbows up, chin to chest, up, hold, and down.
So these are single leg crunches?
Well, these are called curl ups. Now I did 5 with my feet in this position. Now I'm going to swap.
Yep.
5 more.
You find these difficult to do, Bas?
Kinda. It's a bit embarrassing to say yes. So that's why I just say kinda. But actually yes. Like, you feel it, man. So that's core. That's my core on.
That's a core activation.
So next, so I'll just sit up while I explain this to you. So that's core activation. That's Stuart McGill Big Three. Google it. I didn't invent it. Stuart McGill, one of the best spine researchers in the world, if not the best. Apparently he spent $500 million on research on this, on the Big Three.
Oh, wow.
It works, trust me. And if you don't think it works, trust me on this, it's not going to hurt you. Thor does it. Thor did that for World's Strongest Man. These are the warm-ups that I had him do. Because in World's Strongest Man events, you don't really get great facilities to warm up. And it's like, perfect, because we've got our body weight to warm up with. So I had Thor doing these little simple things before he went and wins. Before he goes to win World's Strongest Man. Yeah, it looks funny, but he does it. Okay, next. Okay, so that's core activation. Core protects the spine. We're also loading hips. So a lot of people experience in squats anterior hip pain, and they stretch their hip flexors. We don't do that. We don't stretch anything. Stretching inhibits muscles and weakens the muscle. If it's performed like just before a session, you're trying to contract the muscle, not lengthen the muscle. So instead of stretching the hip flexors are working. A lot of the times, pain in the front of the hip isn't because of tight hip flexors, it's because that's not on. So glute activation. Bottom leg straight, top foot behind the bottom ankle, right? Clams. So I point my pelvis towards the ground and I open my hips, 25 reps. So a lot of people do clams like exactly side on. You're not using gravity to get the right muscles, glute mean, glute med. So we point our pelvis to the ground. Okay, so now gravity is helping us use our leg as a weight, and we're hitting 25 reps. I'm not counting. Another thing that people do with clams, they bring their knees up here, so you're putting your hips in flexion. The glutes are hip joint extensors, so don't put them in flexion. That shortens it too much. Okay? Yeah, that's about 25, I'd say. Okay, that's 25. That's two functions of the glutes is abduction, so that's abduction and also external rotation. Now another function of the glutes is hip joint extension. So we're going to do 10 on each side. Hey, check out Kevy. He's over there, he's about to deadlift. And he's doing the same thing, I think.
Kevy.
What are you doing, Kevy? Clams? Yeah.
You just one ahead of him, Bas?
Yeah, he's cheating, man. You can't trust him. He arches in his bench press as well. That's a cheater.
He's a cheater arch.
Yeah, bro.
Got that cheater arch.
Yeah, bro. He even admits it. He did it last night. He's like, if I arch more, I can bench press more. That means it's a cheat. Nah, okay, we're only joking. You know we're only joking. We're advocates of the arch for a number of reasons. Safety allows you to lift heavier weight. Most people put their hands on the inside of the rack, but with me, my shoulders are so tight that I can't, so I have to put them on the outside of the rack, which is why it's quite handy to have a rack like this. Now, before I touch an empty bar, I'm going to do a set of 20 squats. Call these bend overs. Right? So with a squat, it's not just legs, it's your whole body. So when I say bend overs, bend over, touch the ground. Put the hands on the inside of the leg. Hands on the inside of the legs forces you to push your knees out, which is a cue that I teach with my squats.
And for these bend overs, are you trying to keep your spine neutral?
No, I don't care if it goes into flexion. I'm not loading my spine.
Yep.
So I'm warming up my entire posterior chain. So if I was trying to keep my spine neutral, I'd call them squats. But that's why I call them bend overs. Oof, okay. So,
Bit of leg swings as well.
leg swings. Just mobilize my hip joint nicely. It's what I was talking about before with butt wink and keeping a neutral spine. So these are the warm-up drills that help me achieve full depth without rounding my lower back or without going into butt wink, so that I can achieve full depth in a squat, strengthen my legs, which is what I'm after, and not harm my back. Okay, high bar. Barbell sits on the upper traps. Elbows back, shoulder blades down. Ignore my hands right now because I'll bring them in every set. I'm just doing the comfort thing. That's hard work.
It is.
It's a hard day for me. So, good question that you just asked off the camera was, we didn't talk about my belt. No, we did not. The belt is something that I use to help me lift a heavier weight. It increases my intra-abdominal pressure. Imagine my torso is like a balloon. So think of that balloon, tie a rope around the middle of the balloon and then feel the pressure on that balloon. It's going to be a little bit more firm. That's what happens with my body. I want a firm body. Well, we don't really call it firm, we call it rigid, we call it tight. Tight equals strong. So this is what happens. I brace with the use of the belt and it makes my torso stronger. People look at it as you're putting a belt around your lower back to protect your lower back. Yeah, it does protect your lower back, but not because it's on your lower back, because it's allowing you to brace harder. It's increasing the intra-abdominal pressure, so the air build up inside my body. So another way of ensuring that I'm building up that intra-abdominal pressure is, it's called the Valsalva maneuver, where you take a big breath and hold your breath. So if I breathe in on the way down and breathe out on the way up, I'm losing a lot of that pressure. So that defeats the purpose of having a belt. So I've got the belt on. I just had a bit of a complaint to myself that my body's a bit too big. When I say body, I mean my guts. And I went on a tighter setting and it was a little bit too tight. So I don't like it too tight. I like it comfortable. Tighter isn't always better.
$195.
Every time I touch that bar is an opportunity for me to practice what I'm going to do for the top set. And this is the top set for today, but it's also practicing what I'm going to do on Monday when I do 290. Every time I touch that barbell, I'm thinking about all of the techniques that I teach everyone. Upper back tension, foot position, looking straight ahead, brace, spread the floor, push the knees out in the same direction as the toes, open the hips. That's going to allow my pelvis to achieve the bottom position and remain neutral. Sometimes if your feet are too close, you're not giving your pelvis room to sit in that position. So, perfect stance.
How did that feel, Bess? First set.
It felt tiring, to be honest with you. My body is exhausted. You know, that's sub-maximal, but still, it's hard. Anyway, one more set.
All right.
That's me done. So, common question that I get asked is, how often should we be training a lift? In fact, last night someone asked me, is it possible to bench press 5 times per week? I said, yes, it is. And the rule is this: the higher the frequency, the lower the intensity, and the lower total volume per session. So this is really low volume. This is only 2 sets of 2. But let's just say you pick a squat and you normally do 10 sets for your squat pattern in a week. on one session. If you do 2 sessions, doesn't mean you do 10 sets in the first and 10 sets in the second. Do 5 sets and 5 sets, so it's still kind of very similar total volume around the week. But what happens is the quality of the movement improves a lot, because instead of doing, like if you can imagine if I did 10 sets of this, the last few sets, fatigue would kick in and the quality wouldn't be as high. So when I keep the volume low in each session, it's very high quality sets. And then I do it multiple times per week. So right now, yeah, I know it's only 2 sets. And then when I go on my heavy session, it'll only be 2 to 3 sets as well. But that's because I'm at my really heavy end. But when I'm further away from competition, my volume is a lot higher, and I probably would be doing between, over 5 sets per session if I was to do it 2 times per week. Or if I'm doing it once per week, I might do 10 total sets per body part. So this is what's working for me really well at the moment. I don't usually do 2 times a week squats. I do just 1 heavy squat session and 1 heavy deadlift session. But what I've done this time, taken my deadlift session out and put in a second squat session, but a very light and low volume squat session, which is what today was. And my squat's going up really, really well. So I just squatted 350 for a double. My goal is 400, and I believe I'm pretty close to that. 400 kilogram squat, 881 pounds, for those who speak American. But that's what's working for me very well now. So don't take that information and say, 2 sessions is better than 1, or Bass said that this is the total amount of sets that you have to do. It's always changing, but currently this is working for me really nicely. And then when I revisit this for my next goal, so my first goal is 400, my next goal after that might be 410 or whatever it is. I might have to use a completely different strategy. It's always changing. But those are some of the basic rules. If you want to do it more times per week, something's got to give. You can't just do more of everything. More times per week and more volume and more weight. So if you're doing 1 session per week, you can really hit it. If you're doing 2 sessions per week, you need to back it off a little bit. And that's me. That's my session done. Time to eat. And then we're going to train the girls from clean off. Meal number 3 for the day. That's post-workout nutrition. That's my protein shake. This is Bondi meal prep. It's really great quality food. This is steak, broccoli, we got jalapenos, and I think that's tomato or capsicum. I think it's capsicum actually, and rice. So perfect for me. Perfect amount of protein and carbohydrates, and it's healthy food. And something I love about it is the convenience. So that's why I have these meal preps. I have 2 to 3 of these per day. So it's a pain in the butt having to cook that many meals, which is why just getting the meal prep, having someone else do that for me, is just so convenient.
You also got some cranberry juice here.
Yeah, cranberry juice. To be completely fair, the cranberry juice that I should be having is the freshly squeezed stuff.
Yeah.
This is like
a bit more processed, a bit more sugar.
Little bit, when I say a little bit more sugar, kind of a lot more sugar. But hey, tastes good. And I don't mind having a little bit of extra calories at the moment. I need to keep my weight high. The food that I'm having is high quality, man. Meal 3 almost done. I'm just going to finish these last bits and pieces of rice, and then we're going to go train the girls.
Yeah, exciting.
Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is, it's called the Big 3 by Stuart McGill. So we start with, do you know what bird dogs are? So we're going to do bird dogs. We're going to do 10 of those. Straight after that, we do a rolling plank. So front plank for 30 seconds, side plank for 15 seconds on each side, and then we do curl ups. So it's just crunches, 10 reps of that. That's the entire core activation, right? So that's going to take about 5 minutes. All right, Mon, we ready? Yeah. Let's do it. If you're doing something wrong, I'll pick it up and I'll say it. But otherwise, if I keep my mouth shut, you're doing everything right. You just keep on doing you. Just 5 reps. That's all I want. Okay, good. Right, I'm all clear. Now, not so bad. There's a few little changes that I want to make. The first place that we start is grip. The rules that we have is to hold the bar as close as your shoulder mobility allows. Where you're resting the bar on your back is a little bit loose.
Yep.
So when you bring it in a little bit closer, the thing that's going to happen is you're going to pretty much squeeze your shoulder blades back and down towards your back pockets. Automatically.
Yeah, okay.
But then I want you to think about that as well. So when the hands are in close, it kind of makes it flow a little bit better. But that's what I want you to think about. So tension so hands as close as shoulder mobility allows. And then when you come under the bar, don't just rest it there. Elbows back, shoulder blades down. So now we've got upper back tension.
Yeah.
Okay? The next thing that you were doing was how you were doing these squats here. Well, I was saying knees out, spread the floor. So what I want you to do now before we put that weight on your back is do it unloaded. I want you to get to the bottom position of the squat and get the elbows on the inside of your knees and open the hips. Now, feet are too wide for that. Feet are too wide for that. So it's not about bringing the feet wider. The feet can stay where they were. It's about opening the hips, pushing the knees out. See how the knees just come in? Shove them out. Now stay there. Did you see what? So what I did was put my knees, elbows on the inside of the knees. Stop. I'll show you what I did. I got here and I sat and I opened up and stayed here. Stay here and shove the knees out. Elbows in, shove them out, harder.
I'm gonna fall.
Shove them out. That's better. Okay, that's the knees out position. Okay. Now what's happening is when you're not doing that, you're not giving your pelvis room to sit in that bottom position. Okay, so your feet are here, but the knees are coming forward and the bum's coming back. It's kind of like a two-dimensional squat. It's called a three-dimensional. This way as well. Think about it this way.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I want you to do this now. When you drop, don't drop putting your bum back or pushing the knees forward. Push the knees this way. This is the first, no. The first thing that happened just then is your knees just this forward. I don't want them forward anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very strict with you. Shove them out. If I see him do this, I stop you straight away. Okay, this way. This more. So this is where we start. This bone here is called your femur. We externally rotate it. So I don't need to see that pointing in this direction from the get-go. Turn, outwards. Good. Now push the knees out. Look straight. Push the knees out. Open the knees. Come down more. Open the knees. Come down more. More. Shove them out. That's better. Shove them out. They're going in the right direction. Good girl. There you go. Look at them opening up. Now stand. That's what I want.
Okay.
Your hips are opening now for the first time. Okay? Now do that without me touching you. Shove them out. Stop. You've gone back to this. Don't do that. And don't do this either. Here. Shove it out. Good. And more. Go. And lower yourself. Good. Shove them out. Good. Lower yourself. Shove them out. Good girl. Okay, stop. Okay. 10 times better. We're not there, but it's 10 times better. I want you to stand a little bit wider now. Just a little bit wider. Good go. Do it again. Shove them out. More. Good. There's open hips. I can see it already. Completely different movement now. Now you're using your butt. Good girl. Shove them out harder. More. Okay. Now, you're going to think of that and do this again with the bar. I'm not going to add weight until you're allowed. You're not allowed yet. Okay. So what are we doing first? I'm also potentially going to change your squat position again. Like we do one step at a time. I change one thing and then we retest. The way that you're moving is very hip dominant. It's almost as if you lack ankle joint dorsiflexion. So you don't have huge mobility in the ankles. Neither do I, it's not a bad thing. Which means you might not be suitable for a high bar squat. You need more ankle joint dorsiflexion for that. So to be suitable, we might need to change your footwear or add a heel elevation, right?
Yeah.
Not a bad thing, I need heel elevation, okay? Otherwise, another alternative is to use a low bar squat.
Yeah.
Before we do that, grab the bar as close as shoulder mobility allows. For girls your size, I say up to that line. Bring your hand in to that line. Good go. That's how. Good. Now, put on your upper traps. Now, elbows back and shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Good. Now we've got all of those muscles of your upper back are switched on. Good girl. These were soft before. Now they're good. Okay, good. Now, look straight ahead. Get those knees out. Keep going. This is good. Shove them out. Keep it slow. Keep shoving them out. More. I know they can go out more. Good girl. Come up. Good. Just give me one more. Shove those knees out harder. Shove them out. Come down a little bit faster. little bit faster. Shove them out, much better. And up, good go. And rack it, please. Good, so that was way better than what you were doing before, right? But now it's just confirmed I do want you in a low bar position.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so your high bar currently, which is on your upper traps. So low bar is going to be about this much lower, and it's going to be resting on your rear deltoids. Okay, I'm going to help you put it in the exact position, right?
Cool.
Grab the bar as close as shoulder mobility allows. Come underneath the bar. Good, good, good. Elbows back, shoulder blades down. That's the perfect position. So this is your shelf here, which is your rear deltoid.
Oh yeah.
Perfect, good. Now this one doesn't matter if you're folding in half like you were before. Don't step too many steps back. Okay, point your toes out just a little bit. Good go. Now, look straight. Knees out, knees out, knees out, knees out. More, 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 more. Get that bottom position. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Shove them out harder, shove them out harder, and up. Give me
That
two
feels
more.
way better.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. There's still a lot more things that we're going to change, but go, keep going. Shove them out, 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 and up. Good go. And again, shove them out, shove them out, shove them out, shove them out. Knees out, knees out, knees out, knees out. Nice, and up. Good go. And walk it in. Okay, I'm going to get the focus off you for a little bit, and we're going to come back to that, and I'm going to elevate your heels. Okay, so we're just figuring out the squat variation that's perfect for you.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is the thing, unless it's just.
I feel like I've learned more just then than I've learned in
I know you have.
years.
I know you have.
My mind is just blown.
This is really good one. I quite like this. Okay, there's a few things that okay, so what is that? A high bar squat or a low bar squat?
Kind of like just a mix of both.
Okay, it does, I would classify that as a mid bar.
Yeah.
I want you to think about what we're actually trying to do here, right? So for a high bar, the focus is to be really, really upright, make it a more quadricep dominant type of movement. For a low bar, it's more of a hip dominant movement. Now, it's more acceptable to look down on a low bar squat because there is more forward torso lean. But I used to say it's more acceptable, but still, my cue is look straight.
So high bar looks straight.
It's every bar looks straight, right? Every bar looks straight. I used to say it's more acceptable for a low bar because the neutral spine, the head follows the torso. I don't want that to happen because the rules change as you get stronger.
Okay.
What's your squat?
My best?
Yeah.
85.
I'm not going to teach you like you're an 85 kilo squatter. I'm going to teach you like what I know you can squat, which is double that. I've seen it before, and we've got girls in here that can do double that.
Okay.
Like Annie, for example, you know that smart girl over there?
She's strong.
That's how I'm going to teach you. That's how I'm going to teach you.
Okay.
Before she was strong,
I'm
she was
a
not.
powerlifter.
Before she was strong, she was not strong, and she taught herself how to be strong. What happens is you get to a point where the rules change as you get stronger. So I'm not going to change those on you as you get stronger. I'm going to treat you now like you're that strong, and you're going to follow those rules from now. So you look down, the body follows the eyes. Do you get it? So if you fail, that's where you're going to fail.
Okay.
Right? We're not going to do that. Face up, here. Okay? Posture from the start. Now, that was a very hip dominant squat. There was nothing wrong with that. I'd say that you have the mobility for either. But it still was more suitable to a low bar position. So I'm going to make you go low bar now. Look straight, slow. Good go. Look straight, slow. Good. 3 more. Look straight, really, yes. 2 more. Good go. 1 more. Nice squats, and walk it in.
Well, that's not the lowest I've had the bar, the low bar.
Okay. Placing the bar on your mid delts. Low. Good go. There you go. Elbows back, shoulder blades down. Good go. Heels up from the. Good. That's all. Bring the feet in a little bit. When we elevate heels, we don't go as wide with the stance. Okay. Now, face up. I need those knees out. Shove them out. More than that. Good girl. And up. Nice. Keep that face up. Big breath, hold your breath. Knees out. Knees out. And up. Good go. 2. Good. I want 8 reps. 2 down. 6 to go. 3. Nice. Okay, I want you to stand a little bit wider. Bring your stance out just a touch. Good go. 4. Nice. Keep that face up. 5. Really good. Knees out, knees out, knees out. Nice. 6. You're using your butt a lot better now. 2 more. Knees out, knees out, knees out. 7. Good go. 1 more. Really good. And 8. Great. Walk it in. That's your squat. So for a while, I'll tell you what happens now. Your mobility will increase because now you're using the right muscles, you're maintaining neutral spine, you're hitting that bottom position.
Yeah.
So you're working muscles you weren't working before.
I feel like I can get down a lot lower.
That's great, that's great. There is forward torso lean. Watch this. That's forward torso lean by rounding your back, and then that's forward torso lean by hinging at your hips. That's what you're doing, that's fine. That's fine. Everyone's gonna be different. You're gonna be you're more upright, you're more forward torso lean. That's fine. As long as you're not rounding.
Yeah.
Okay, now we get rid of those and we're going to add a little bit of weight for you next because it's too high. Okay, bring your feet out just a little bit. Okay, perfect. Good. Look straight. Keep your face parallel to that wall in front of you. Good go. Big breath, hold your breath, knees out. Slow. Good. Control and hit. Control, pop. Good. 2. Big breath. Control, hit. 3. Hit slower, slow, then accelerate. Good. 2 more. Big breath, slow, then accelerate. Yeah. 1 more. Big breath, slow, then accelerate. Great. Okay. I want consistency. Okay. So just then we got 6 reps and they all look different. The line was great, your body position great, the speed of the bar was different on each one. Here's,
I wasn't sure how.
I know. That's what I was trying to teach. So this is where we clarify now,
Yeah.
and then the next set you're going to get it. You're going to nail it. The perfect squat starts slow, gradually accelerates in and out of the hole.
Okay.
That's the perfect squat. Now, if something's wrong, we just slow it down. That's rule number 1. If you're losing tension, we just slow it down. I don't want any free fall at all. Not at any point. Not while we're learning.
Yeah.
Later on, if we decide to do a different sport or whatever you want, okay, but we learn slow, and that's how it goes. Control, a little bit faster at the bottom, but always tight. If you go too fast, you lose tension.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I want the speed to be. Control, gradually accelerate, and the speed up will be faster than the speed down. Control, hit.
Yeah.
Control, hit. Okay, we're going to go up a little bit of weight. Elbows back, shoulder blades down. Perfect. Good go. Spread them. Spread them a little bit wider. Okay, good go. Big breath. Hold your breath. Knees out, knees out. Control, and then gradually accelerate. And up. Good. Wait. Face up. Look straight ahead. And up. 2. Nice. Big breath. Control. Knees out, and up. 3. Great squat. 2 more. Big breath. Control. Knees out. 4. Great squat. 1 more. Big breath. Control. Knees out, and squeeze it up. Great. The 5th one was better than the first. Well done. Well done. Straight. Big breath. Control. Control. Squeeze. You drop too hard then. Big breath. Control. Guide it down. Guide it down. Now speed up. 2. Nice. Shove those knees out hard. Big breath. Good go. Yeah. 2 more. Easy. 1 more. Good go. Excellent. Okay, no, bit too high now. Okay, elbows back. Good, there. Big breath. Good go. 3 reps. Look straight. Control. Big breath. Control. Squeeze. Yeah, easy as. Big breath. Control. And squeeze. Bit droppy there. Big breath. Control all the way down. Control. And squeeze. Yeah, easy as. Easy as. Lower. Good. Elbows back, shoulders down. Perfect. Good go. Spread them a bit wider, bit wider, bit wider. Okay, good go. Okay, look straight ahead. Big breath, hold the breath. Knees out, knees out, knees out. Squeeze it up. Great. Big breath. Knees out, knees out, knees out. Nice work. 2 more only. Big breath. Knees out, knees out. 3. Easy peasy. 1 more. Big breath. Knees out, and squeeze. Good girl. Well done, well done. Super easy. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's uncomfortable, but it will protect you from getting injured.
Cool.
Thumb, fist. back shoulder blades down. Nice. Yep. Spread them wider. Good go. Look straight. Take a big breath. Hold your breath. Control down. Knees out, knees out, knees out. Knees out, knees out. Bit too fast. Big breath. Hold your breath. Knees out, knees out, knees out, knees out, knees out. 2. Give me one more. Shove the knees out harder. Look straight. Knees out harder, knees out harder. Okay, good. Not bad. That was a little bit like, it looked harder than it should have been.
Yeah.
Obviously we did go heavier, but it's like sometimes when you go the next weight up, sometimes it's too big a jump and your knees have come back in again.
Yeah.
So you go back to old habits, right? So I'm not gonna let you add weight.
Okay.
We're gonna do that again and we're gonna do it better on the next set.
Yeah.
And I know that you can do it better if you shove your knees out harder. So you've closed everything off and you're going back to where you know.
Yeah.
I need you to open the hips, make it that 3-dimensional squat that I want. All right. Here we go. Big breath, hold your breath. Control. Knees out hard, knees out hard, knees out hard. Squeeze it up. Good girl. Look straight, big breath. Knees out hard, knees out hard, knees out hard. A little bit shallow there. Okay, don't rush it. Big breath, hold your breath. Shove the knees out, shove the knees out, shove the knees out, and squeeze it up. Good girl. Nice work. Great work, great work. Okay. Good girl. Great. Okay, look straight ahead. Take a big breath. Knees out, knees out, knees out. Good. Get that depth. Big breath, hold your breath. Shove them out, shove them out, shove them out. Nice. One more. Big breath, hold your breath.
Let's go.
Shove them out, shove them out, shove them out. And up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Now the thing you got to think about as well, you could have done 4, and I bet you'd have done 5 as well. But it's not about that.
Yeah.
You work to fail on a movement like that. Technique's going to break down.
Yeah.
And it's called ineffective training. That's when you risk injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't think about the weight, don't think about working your ass off and coming in here for a pump session or a sweat session or training till you puke.
Yeah.
People that train that way aren't strong.
No, I don't like training that way.
No, but you don't get a result like that. You
Yeah.
walk out sweaty and you think you had a great session. That's not what training is about.
Yeah.
Okay? So now you understand how to move. Now you get the program and we think about the correct load for what you're going to be working with.
Yeah.
Right? So we did 50 kilograms. Like you could essentially go on the next few weeks and go 52.5 kilograms next week, 55 kilograms the week after, and then deload. And I'd say that in 2 weeks' time or 2 squats, you could do this 2 sessions a week of squats. And in 2 weeks, 3 sessions time, when you do the 55 kilograms, it'll look the same as what 50 looked today.
Yeah.
And then you deload and then change the program.
Yeah, because
It's
now
like that.
I've got a good foundation and the technique has been
It's only going to get
corrected.
better.
Yeah.
It's been corrected, but it's still, like I come into the gym and I've been doing it for 20 years and I still video myself
Yeah.
from every angle and I pick up after 20 years, and I've got a pretty good squat.
Yeah.
And I fuck up every time. Like I record my warm-up sets up to the top weight and it's like the knees weren't out enough. You know, my eyes dropped. You know, something like my back wasn't tight. There's something wrong on every single session that I do. And people can't see it, but I can see it. But you improve by the millimeter.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, the next session you'll do this, your subconscious is going to go to work now.
Yeah.
And then you're going to know how to do this better on the next session. You just have to have that next session kind of soonish.
Yeah.
You know, if you just don't train for a week or two, you forget.
Yeah.
Good job.
Let's game on.
Okay. Look straight. Massive breath. Control, control, control. Control. Speed up. Squeeze.
Yes, take it home. Easy. Nice.
Breath. Tight, tight, tight. Squeeze.
Yes.
All day. All day.
Guys, that was the PB.
Hey, don't worry about that PB. Don't worry about that PB. You get a fist bump. You get
For 2 reps, easy. You got 100.
That second one was better than the first. How good.
You are way stronger than you think you are.
Did you say 100 for 3?
It has to be.
Has to be. 100 for 3. Come on.
So you got our tunes on now. Roll up your back slightly.
Well done.
That's what made it harder. Up, up, up. So that pushes you forward. That's big.
And this is what,
Thank you.
if you study strength systems, you're going to be able to achieve with your clients. Exhibit A in one session.
One
From
second.
85 PB to 100.
Yeah, easy. Now we're going to move to the next.
Shin sleeves for deadlift. Deadlifting now.
The cute blue ones.
Okay, that's really good. Now, the knees out thing. So what it needs to look like is that the knees are aligning with the feet. So what you're doing is you have your feet here and the knees are kind of knocked in slightly. Okay, so what I need you to do is a combination of bringing the feet in half fucking centimeter, like not much, like it's so minimal, I'm really nitpicking. And focus on pushing the knees out against the inside of your arms, right? So bring your feet in, it's closer, a bit closer, good go, good go. Grab the bar. So yeah, good, yes, perfect. Now you're still kind of cramming yourself in. Brad, grab the bar, touch wider. No, that's fucking way wider. Okay, bring it. So like, okay, you're on the line. I want you a centimetre away from the line. So you're like inches away now, yeah. Okay, good. Now, shove the knees out. Now, the next thing I want you to do is there's a lot of great leg drive. I think you can pull the bar back and not squat as much. That's too much hips now. So I want everything you do, if I change it, just think of like half a centimetre at a time. Good. Now, armpits towards your pelvis, pull the bar into your body, hold your breath, head to the ceiling, push the wall away. Really nice. Good. Reach your head to the ceiling, push the wall away. Yeah. Everything's aligning. You go. Head to the ceiling. Yes. One more. Head to the ceiling. Beautiful. What a deadlift. Really nice, really efficient movement. Excellent. Good job. Now, the first thing, stop. Actually, let's just record this as a before and after. Go, 3 reps.
What's this music called?
Good. Reset the bottom. Good go. Okay, that's pretty good. And relax. Okay, good. So the next thing I want you to do is still a little bit far away from your body. Same thing as mine. The hands are kind of like in the way of the knees, the hips opening up. Okay, so be mindful about the feet must be on the inside of the arms. Right? Now the arms can't get in the way of the hips opening up. Now let's think of something. Do you know what the most efficient position for the arms would be? Come on. Anyone? Straight down. Think of it. If you go too wide, you're shortening your arms. It's like a snatch grip. It means you have to travel further. So therefore, the most efficient position is exactly straight down. That's where your arms are the longest. So then you travel the least. Now, for someone like you, that's actually that's a bit too close. So for someone like you, think about your shoulder width. Maybe one index finger on the smooth part. Don't go under the hand, but do both hands over, that's what I learned. About that is where your arms will be very much straight down. Now here's another consideration you need to take. Females are lower body dominant. Compared to a male, broad shoulders, narrow hips. Women are the opposite, narrower shoulders and wider. Like don't exaggerate what I'm saying. It's very slight, but that makes a difference. You know what I mean? So you need to think about that. If you bring your arms straight down, narrow shoulders, wide hips, you're cramming your hips up. You're not giving your hips room to leg drive. So, although,
Like a V shape.
yes, exactly. It's easier for a dude to bring their arms straight down because the legs fall on the inside,
Arms are out here.
and the legs fall on the hips are narrow and they fall on the inside of the arms. But for a girl, although the most efficient position is where the arms are straight down, the hips must take priority. Okay. So you need to give your hips room to move. So I want you to consider the arms straight down. No, always overhand. Either overhand or one under, one over. So keep it overhand. Now I want you to go wider with your hands. Wider with your hands. Good. A bit more. Good. Now, the next thing I want you to do, bum down. Good. Now, armpits to the pelvis. So the shins should be on the bar at this point. Push your knees out against the inside of the locked elbows. Now the arms are bent. Lengthen, extend your tricep. Good. Extend your tricep. Good. Now, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. Okay. Now, and again. Drop. Bum down, bum down, bum down, bum down, bum down. Good. Knees out. Good girl. So it's more leg drive now. And again, bum down, knees out, knees. Good. Don't look down when you're doing that. Okay, stop. And relax.
Sorry, information.
That's okay. I know it is. So when I'm giving you the information like that, I should have told you that rule. Don't move while I'm telling you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because that's where it is information. Like you're trying to deadlift while I'm telling you, you can't do the cues on the fly. right? So get in the position.
Yep.
So I'll get you in the perfect position, and then all you got to do is push, right?
Okay.
So don't push yet. Don't lift that bar until I say so. Bum down, bum down. So bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees.
I'm gonna fall back.
Now, arms long, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Push your knees outwards. More. Hold your breath. Push the world away. Good girl. And again, it was too slow on the way out. Stand with intent. Bum down, knees out, head to ceiling. Push the world away. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Very focused, determined look on that. Good girl. Very good. And again. Bum down, knees out, head to ceiling. Okay, lock those elbows. Don't let the elbows bend at all. Good. Bum down, knees out, armpits to pelvis, pull the bar in. Good deadlifting. Great work. And relax. Nice.
Beautiful.
It's just gently. That's giving us an proprioceptive feedback that we are opening the hips
Yeah.
and keeping them open. The moment that comes in wrong, that's when you get death wobbles.
Yeah.
That's when things start shaking because all of the right muscles aren't working together.
Yeah, it all felt like really stable.
Yeah,
like-
I don't need to tell you to use your back. You've got no choice but to use your back. But I do need to teach you how to optimize leg drive.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to bend the knees enough, push out enough, and push the wall away. Instead of saying pull the bar up, push the wall away. So it teaches you to push. Your body already knows that it has to pull,
Yeah.
but it doesn't think it has to push.
Yeah.
That's why it's just cueing. Good go. Grab the bar with a centimeter away from the line. Good. Bump down, knees out, armpits to pelvis, pull the bar in, head to ceiling, push the world away. Good. Two more. Knees out, head to ceiling. Yes. One more. Knees out, bump down. Good job. And relax. Good. Nice. Now it's just about kind of like ingraining that.
Feels way more efficient.
Oh, great. Grab the bar on the outside. Good. Bum down, knees out, pull the shins back. Head to ceiling. Push the world away. Efficiency plus. Armpits to pelvis, head to ceiling. Good go. Armpits to pelvis, head to ceiling. That'll do you. Well done. Okay. Leave it there. With you need a little bit of room for the knees to push it slightly outwards. Right? So about a centimetre out from that line. Good go. Knees out. Pull the bar into your body. It should be on the shins. Good go. Nice. Don't ever stop and hesitate in the middle of the rep. Stand with intent. Good go. One more. Shins on the bar. Good go. Nice work. Nice. Yeah.
Come on, that's the strong. Yes, easy, come on. That's it. 3 more, okay. 2 more. Yes. Yes.
So the feedback from Mon was this. We've shifted her bar position because she was quite hip dominant with her movements and she was using a high bar position. So we've changed it to a low bar and she was doing triples on 85. And today was a little bit of a different approach. I just needed to teach her how strong she actually was. And she did triples on 100. So that was a PB by 15 kilograms. Like that's a huge progression. But I wouldn't sit there and say, great, we got you on 100. So next week you got to beat 100. So now we've got to think about how we're going to take your hundreds a little bit higher. We don't have to do that every week. You don't just keep on driving into the wall until it moves. You got to go around the wall. So I would get you to go, you said you were doing triples on 85 before this, and I've shown you that you're stronger than that. So I'd take you to 5s on 85. And then the next week, 5s on 90. Then the next week, 5s on 95. Then the next week, 5s on 100. So there's your progression on your squat. Okay, so we're going to take her in 4 weeks' time. That's what we're going to see from Clean Health, posting on the Clean Health main page, tagging at Australian Strength Coach. Okay, we're going to have, well, you've got a 4-week goal, you've got a 6-week goal. You're going to be doing 55 kilograms squat for 5 in 6 weeks. You're going to be doing 100 kilograms for 5 in 4 weeks. So the first thing that I would say to someone like you, just after a technique session like that, you did triples on 50 kilograms. And I'd say that there was a 4th rep in there and maybe even a 5th rep. So I know there was more in the tank.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because I know that next week you can go up. So how much do I want you to go up? Just a little bit. So next week, instead of 50 kilograms, you're going to go 52.5 kilograms. The week after, you go 55 kilograms. Like, this is just off the top of my head, a really simple progression, how in 3 weeks' time you can go up by 5 kilograms.
Yeah.
And then how do you progress from there? Instead of just going up and up and up each weight, so instead of doing that, let's add reps now, because we want to start accumulating a little bit of volume.
Yeah.
So let's start that cycle again, but instead of doing triples, we do 5s. So we're going 50 for week 1 for triples, then 52.5, then 55. Then the next phase, we do 5s for the same weight. So we go 50 for 5s, 52.5 for 5s, and then 55 for 5s. So we've taken you from 50 for 3s. In 6 weeks' time, you're going to do 55 for 5.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to write it out for you so you do remember. I will write it out, but that's just a simple way of progressing by this much every week, and you don't even feel it. And I bet you in 6 weeks' time, when you do 55 for 5, it's going to look easier than when you did the 50 for 3 here. And then same with the deadlifts. So just then, we did 5 by 3 on 60 kilograms.
Yeah.
That was easier. I'd even tell you to go up to 65, 5 by 3 the next week, and then to 70. So that was a lot easier. So the RP on that was about 7. RP on your squats was about an 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that means we're just going to go a smaller increment for the squats, but we can go bigger increments. So next week, so you did 60. So what did I just say? So 60 for 5 by 3, what are you going to do next week?
65.
Yeah, and then the next week?
70.
70.
Like 67.5.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Got it, right? Now, if we take the same progression as you did for the squats, what are you going to do the week after?
5 by 5.
5 by 5s on what?
70.
The first week?
65.
No.
60.
We start the weights again and we just repeat the cycle.
Okay.
60 for
5 by
5s.
5 on 60.
65 the next week. So week 1 is this. We just did week 1, which is 5 by 3 on 60. What's week 2?
5 by 3 on 65.
Good. What's week 3?
5 by 3 on 70.
Good. What's week 4?
Deload.
Cool. Excellent. Deload. What's the next week?
5 by 5 on 60.
Good. So we're going to start that weight again, but we're going to add reps. And then the next week?
5 by 5 on 65.
Good. And then the next week?
5 by 5 on 70.
And then the next week?
Deload.
Deload. That's sick.
Yay.
How strong are you going to be?
Pretty strong.
Yeah, so that's a great progression, and it's a very simple progression, but that's a 2-month progression. I mean, we progress for every single phase, like every month, year after year, and the goal is obviously to not just train for 2 more months. The goal is for her to train for 20 more years or 30 more years or whatever it is, but that's just a very simple way of progressively overloading with a very, I don't want to say a simple exercise, because it's not really simple, but it is just the deadlift and just the back squat, but they're the foundational movements that are going to give you the best results, and if you gradually progress with those movements, you're going to get a great result over time. Okay, so just finished training the girls from Clean Health, and I'm due for meal number 4. So same again, this is a Bondi meal prep, and this time I'm using a chicken dish. So this was actually a special request that I had based on, I think it's called Hainanese chicken. This is basically steamed chicken breast with a bit of cucumber and rice and chili sauce. And what's this, like shallots, garlic and shallots, or I don't know if there's garlic, but it's delicious. Doesn't look good when it's all out on the plate like that after it's been in the package, but trust me, yum yum.
Delicious.
Trust me when I say yum yum.
Yum yum.
So in terms of how many calories I'm eating per day, my macro split, that's numbers that I can't give you because I don't really know. My number one focus currently is to achieve a certain body weight. Now my body weight currently, I weighed in today at 117, what was that, 117.6. That was after a couple of meals, but my goal is to sit around 115, 116 kilograms because that's the weight that I need to be at for my competition. So I know how much I need to eat, so it's roughly 5 to 6 meals per day, and I always eat at this same portion with half of the meal has to be protein based, so it's usually, as you've seen today, it's either beef, chicken, eggs. My first meal was protein powder, which I consider to be food rather than a supplement. But the total amount of calories, I think Dinny's counted them. That's the only time I've ever actually done it.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was about 5,500. I'm not eating that much now, I'm eating a little bit less than that. That's when I was having 2 liters of apple juice a day.
I feel like you're not far off with all the Tim Tams you ate.
No, I'm not. That's right. The Tim Tams would be a 1,000 calorie dish. It's Tim Tams and milk. That'd be 1,000 calorie here. Yeah. So that's yeah. And then you could easily say that I'm eating 4,500 during the day with my other 5 meals.
Yeah.
So it's anywhere between 5 to 5,500 calories. Now, once again, this is pretty healthy meals. It's like chicken breast with white rice. There's not much to it. And my other dishes was, you've seen it, boiled eggs, fruit. Like it's good food. It's high quality food. But then it's stuff like my juices. So this is my second glass of that.
It's a fair bit of.
She loves the calories. She loves all those digits. I don't really care. But this is the second glass of this. I've had a glass of apple juice, so that's 3 glasses of juice for the day.
Do you drink that 1.5 litre a day?
No.
2 cups.
2 cups.
I've only had 2 cups of this. So this was in the fridge.
And
So
then he'll have another one with his dinner.
then I'll have another juice with my dinner. So that'll be 4 glasses of juice. So this is 250. So that's probably about a litre of juice I'm having for the day.
Yeah.
A litre of juice. Do your maths.
There's 100 grams of carbs in that.
In what?
In your 2.5
In 250?
glasses. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No. How many calories in a litre of that? So this is 1.5 litres. So I'm having a litre of juice a day. And then I'm going to have... So if I wanted to get the ripped abs for the ladies, or the men, she's giving me a funny look. No, show her face. Show quick. You're going to catch her in the moment. No, I don't do this for the ladies. Lady.
400?
The one
about
lady.
that? 400 calories?
The womans.
The woman.
The woman.
500
The
calories
woman.
in half.
Yeah, so, if I want to get
So
that...
you're always drinking 2 cups.
If I want to do this to get my abs back because she's going to break up with me if I don't have abs because she's superficial.
I don't like the abs on you. Oh, you do look good with abs, but I like you.
She told me if I don't look good, she's going to break up with me. No, she didn't say that, but it's all about the health as well. To be honest with you, I'm not very comfortable at this body weight. I breathe extra loud. I walk extra funny, which you've probably seen today.
Snores extra loud.
I snore extra loud, but I'm extra strong, which is one of my goals. I love having performance goals as well, and sometimes, things have to take a back seat. And at the moment, my body composition's taking a back seat. But yeah, hit my 400 kilo squat. They're laughing at me. Hit my 400 kilogram squat, and then I'm coming back to aesthetic life.
Yes.
Look, I'll never go for the aesthetic life like that. Like, come in and train for the abs. It's not like that. I train for performance still, but I just will be training for performance at a lower body weight. Anyway, back to the calories and the macros. So what am I going to do to achieve that lower body weight? All I need to do is stop having a litre of juice a day
And Tim Tams.
and Tim Tams. Like, I
Your
can
dessert
still...
will be fruit. Every night we have a big plate of fruit
Yeah.
after his dessert, so you'll drop that. You'll drop the dessert and just have your.
I'll have the fruit.
Yeah.
Fruit's yum. Like, she makes a big bowl of fruit with kiwi fruits, with berries,
Stone fruits, oranges.
all the stone fruits. They're just whatever's seasonal.
We'll say that tonight.
Yeah, we'll say that tonight. Meal number 5 is, this is a very standard dish that we eat. Felicia, who's holding the recorder, say hello. Made this for me. She makes lots of this. This is inspired by Hafthor, which is like a monster mash from Stan Efferding's Vertical Meals. So it's beef mince, rice, chicken stock, tomato, carrot, and there's some parsley on here as well. Always like, a new vegetable or two. Tonight the new vegetable was parsley. Okay, meal number 6. It's not like a protein meal or a salad meal or anything like that. This is calories, purely calories. I've got some scones and I've got some cream and jam. Now, the next discussion is what goes on first. In this instance, the jam goes on first because of the consistency of the cream here. All right, jam goes on first, and then we dollop this one on. All right, and I've got that, and I've got a few more of those, and then I'm going to have a glass of milk as well. And that's me for the day. One more meal. This is something that's definitely a daily routine, and that is daily fruit. The scones isn't daily. That was kind of like, I do have something like desserty, but anyway, I do have fruit every day as well. Kiwis, stone fruits, strawberries, apples, and that's gonna be all. And then I'm gonna brush my teeth and go to sleep. But you don't need to see that.